Hi, this is JilliBling of JilliBling.com, and today I would love to share with you a project I made using the Art Gallery product suite, which includes gold leafing flakes, and heat and stick powder is very convenient. And what do you think about these projects? I know it's a little bit overkill, but every time I look at it, I really like it. And this project box, there'll be a few different color choices. So this one's kind of the gold colors. This one's a bit simpler. This one is in blue. I love blue flowers. Excuse me. And then this one I'm going to redo a little bit. And this one I've got the gold leafing flakes on it too. But I think in the end I'm going to like how this comes out. And here on the video I'm going to redo. I don't like how pale these are. And I was going to do it in advance, but then I thought, well, if you make this project, you're going to want to know that I cut apart the leaves to put one little leaf in here, had the stems down there. So in just a minute, I'll redo these purple flowers, but I also want to make a project using terracotta tile and then the gold leafing flakes. So that's what's on the agenda for today. Art Gallery stamp set, which is great. It's two-step stamping. Stamp this in a lighter color, that over the top in a darker color, or heat and stick powder and use the gold gilding flakes. These coordinate together. This stem goes with these flowers. These words are nice on their own, but if you get the bundle, where's this blue one? It comes with the die. Oh, I think I have it right here. Right here. Just wanted to say, and then you can have any of these. Good luck or congratulations. They all work beautifully together. And there's dies for all of the pieces. Okay. This is the painted palette embossing folder. We'll be using that. We'll be using the floral gallery dies, gilded leafing flakes, and I'm doing something a little bit different. All of my Versamark ink pads are out and about, so I thought, well, craft ink back in the old days, which is pigment ink. Pigment and craft pretty much mean the same thing. That is a sticky ink, which would hold the heat and stick powder. Heat and stick powder. So I thought that would work, and it works really good. And this project, 4 colors, Night of Navy, Old Olive, Terracotta Tile, Whisper White, oh, and you know, a few more that I have to add on. Bumblebee, my big pad is somewhere else, Highland Heather, and Daffodil Delight. But for today's, we'll just use these right here. Okay. There's 2 different size word frames. The small one, and here's the big one. Okay, this Highland Heather one is driving me crazy. Let's dive into that first. So like I said, I was about to fix it, and then I thought, you know what? Let me just show you. So at first, see how there's dark and light flowers, full strength, second strength, or stamp off. On paper it looks fine, but here it just looks like a blob. So I'm going to make them all full strength, and see how there's this little bit of gold on here. So let me find the stamp. Oh, I put it away. Here's the stamp. So see how there's these little, what do they call those? The pollen holder thingies. So on here, I just took my liquid glue and I put a dot of glue on most of them, not all of them. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's liquid glue. When you put the gilding flake in it, it will smear. So it pretty much covers a lot of it. I'm sure if I were to rub with the sponge, I would get more individual little pieces, but I'm fine with it being kind of a blob up there. Okay, so glue on the flower where you want the gilding. Then I put a gilding leaf on top of the liquid glue. I just let it set. This has been setting for about a half an hour. If you use your sponge to take off the excess leafing and your glue is still wet, you just smear the glue and it might kind of mess it up. So just give it some time to dry. Then knock off the excess, and I'll put all this back in my tub here in just a minute. And I'll show you a close-up of this here in just a minute. Okay, so 3 of those. So there you could see that the leafing remained wherever there was a drop of glue. So now I'm going to take off the lighter color flowers and put these on the card. This is my example. Put glue here. This slowly can go back into here. Okay, so this project, I put all these flowers on with just one-dimensional, so I know that they're going to be easy to pull up. Open a leaf. So here you could see that I separated, those might stay. Oh, that's the light colored one. I don't like that. I'm going to leave the dark ones right where they are. All these light ones are going to go away. They're not good enough. So where do I need a leaf? So how should these go? Okay, so on here, this piece right here, the stem, I cut the leaves off and I tucked one here. This is original stem with 2 leaves on it. This leaf is original, didn't touch that. And this leaf, I did accidentally cut it off, but then I just tucked it under the ribbon. I don't like how that's flopping around. I'll have to do something there. Okay, so I'm going to decide, how about, where should these go? Right here. See, I think this is looking better already. It was too washed out. Is that too many? Well, I kind of like seeing the stems. Oh, we need one there. How is that? Maybe over here to balance it out. There, that looks good. I kind of like how you see the stems through there. Okay, so now I'm going to stick these down using dimensionals. I kind of like that one down flat. Things are never easy, you know? Okay. See, to me that looks a lot better. Okay, so this one is done. These are going to get filed away. samples are here. I still like this one. It's a little gaudy, but I like it. Okay, so on to this next one. This one is going to be in terracotta tile. I want to use this fine art ribbon. This will be for the words. And the words, how about, you are lovely. Did I already use that? Thank you. Happy birthday. Thinking of you. Okay, you're lovely. I'm going to do that in Night of Navy ink. Right in the middle. Perfect. So I will cut this using, this is the the long word die that comes with this bundle. There it is. It kind of looks like a postage stamp. Okay. This piece here is from a different die set. Fabulous Florals. And these flowers are very pretty. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out. Isn't that pretty? And this paper is for stamping the flowers, so I want to use this stamp, which is this little bouquet right here. And when I was looking at it, there's flower, which is one color, and then there's stems. I don't want orange leaves. So that means I'm going to stamp it 2 times. One time in green, one time in color. This time it happens to be terracotta tile. So let's do that. And I think I want 2 bouquets on here, so I'm going to stamp Old Olive 2 times. Might as well stamp 3. If somebody gets this box first, I'll say, oh, thank you for doing that. And when I pick it up, the paper happens to be sticking to the polymer stamp, but I'm just rubbing the underside in case I didn't get full coverage. Clean it up, and then I'll do it again in terracotta tile. Don't want any green remaining behind. Okay, that's Old Olive. So next is terracotta tile. And I need just 2, but I'm going to do 3. I probably should be stamping with a foam mat underneath here so I don't have, because I could see some places it's not, I'm not getting full coverage unless I push it. Those came out good though. Okay, so done with that. So now with the die right here, I'm going to cut out 2 of these and 2 of these. So for 1 card, I'm going to run it through and do 4 cuts. And I'll show you why in just a minute. So here's 2 of them. They're cut. I'll show you the other one in just a minute. So I'm going to cut these flowers off and just put them on top of here. Therefore, the green stems, and see how there's a little stem right here, and here, and here. The green stems will remain, and the colored flower I'll just glue, liquid glue, right on top of there. But I want to do the gilding. This is the most fun. Okay, so green one set to the side. And to do the gilding, I am going to use Whisper White. If I had Versamark, I would be using that. But it's good to pull this out. If ever you get a Whisper White stamp pad, it will come uninked with a little bottle of ink next to it. And I've had a few people who didn't open it for years because I don't know what to do with it. You just take this and I'll put I just got done re-inking it, but I'll show you what you do. So when you get it, if you touch it, it's perfectly dry because it's an uninked stamp pad. Open up your Stampin' Up! Whisper White craft ink. Give it a squeeze. I guess I put a lot on there. And just kind of drizzle it around. And then you could see your little trail of ink, but just kind of rub it in. And it will absorb in time, but this helps it to make it a little bit more consistent and even on here. If you just left it as is, you would have trails of heavy ink, not so much ink. But this just helps smooth it out. So I did a whole bunch of this just a few minutes ago. And I know I have plenty of ink on here. It's kind of heavy. Okay, so that's white. And we're going to use heat and stick. Heat and stick powder stinks. It is just, I think it's like ground up glue, and it's ground up really fine granules. Not quite as fine as embossing powder, but I'll show you how this works. And it's very convenient that I just re-ink this, or if you're using a Versamark pad, make sure there's plenty of ink because it makes a difference. Okay, so this is the detailed stamp, and I'm going to stamp it with the white ink directly on there, and I'll do all three of them. And because it's pigment ink, I know it won't dry in 2 seconds, which is what I want, because I want to have time to put my heat and stick powder on there. Heat and stick powder, treat it almost like embossing powder. Heat and stick powder. It's just this stuff, and I dumped a few containers in here. Okay, so I know you're going to sniff yours. Does it stink? It's so white. Okay, that's all it takes. If you're using Versamark powder, you would notice that you had clear ink, and now the pigment of the heat and stick powder, because it's so white, you would see white on here. When you go to heat it, if you used Versamark, you would heat it until it became clear, which is really fast. Because I'm using craft white, it's not going to be quite as easy, but you can tell. You don't want to keep heating it because that makes it lose its stickiness. Heat and stick powder is pretty much granulated glue, and we want it to be sticky to hold the gilding flakes. That's all it takes. And it kind of just becomes shiny. And if I were to touch this right now, it sticks because it's like it's glue. Cool. I don't know if you know, I went really slow. Not that I put my heat tool to this and I had gold gilding everywhere. Look at that. So I have 3 flowers. And just going to stick that, push it down into the sticky heat and stick. And this, you don't have to wait for it to dry. Just keep on putting little bits of that wherever they're sticky. That's all it takes. And you could tear some of that leafing to go somewhere else. Okay, so I feel no more sticky stuff. Make sure you could see that. Oh yeah, you could see it good. Okay, any sticky? Right here. Okay, no more sticky remaining. And I can just kind of rub it to push it into place and knock off any excess. And then I'll go back through with the sponge. And if you had heated your heat and stick too much and you lost the stickiness, the Gilding Flakes, they would not stick. They would all just brush off. Look how pretty. Yeah, this is going to be a traveling box. It's coming to you. I sure hope Stampin' Up! Comes out with different colors. It's so pretty. Look at that. I'll hold it up here just a minute. Okay. What do you think? Yeah. Oh. Okay, my day is complete. Oh. This one here, this project, I did the texture on the white paper. I took the craft ink, pretend like this has texture on it. I put this right over the top. I dipped the whole white paper into heat and stick powder, heated it, and then I gilded that. And that's how there's the gilding on the texture paper. When you see it in person, you'll go, oh, I get it. Okay, so back to where we were with this one. Let me get these pieces here. I want just the colored flowers. I want the stems to be green. Therefore, I'm going to cut off just whatever should be orange, and I'm going to save that. Ooh, those two are together. I'll leave those. There's a little stem right here. Stems are to be green. All these little dots, I could cut them out, but I'm too lazy. You can cut them out if you want to, if that bugs you. I haven't done the inside of any of these cards yet, so I'm not going to show you that. This one I will, I think. Okay, so orange stems go away. All I have is some flowers. Okay, and these I'm going to glue onto here. So, get a little glue. And if you want, you could be putting glue on those and making those orange. Terracotta tile, if you want. A little bit of liquid glue. You could do dimensionals. I don't know that I would want the green to show through on the flower though. Ooh, those three are together. Do you see that? I'm fancy. Okay, that's all that's to it. So, if I hold this up close, it looks like I have green stems and orange flowers. Probably need some more glue right here. It's kind of popping up a little. Green stems, orange flowers. Beautiful gilded orange terracotta flowers. Okay, so let's see, what do we have? I got too excited about all those flowers. There are 2 whites, 2 terracotta tile. I'll fold this one in half. This is the card base. And this one goes on the inside. I won't put the white on yet because I had to stamp something. This one and this one, that's going to go to the inside. This here, I'm going to attach the two top layers and texture them together. So here is the new, oh, I should know the name of this. It's like artist palette, their canvas, artist canvas. I'm going to put these two in here, and the top of the paper, what I want to see, I'm going to have the logo showing. If you do it the other way, it's upside down. So I'm going to run these through together. Hinge first. And here it is. Up. Dog is going to bark. The honey's home. So that's going to go there. This will go here. I think I'll stick this down. Okay, Bo, you have to wait. He'll be right here. Wait. Okay, so this will go on here. And this will go in here. You see it coming together? That's going to go there. This will go over here. And I'm going to put these both on dimensionals. You have to come say hello. That's the rules. Bo announced that you're home.
Hello. We're going outside.
You're going outside? Okay. So I put that on dimensionals. So now I'm going to put, I think to have this thing stand up, I'm going to put some dimensionals under here too. Tony just got the Versamark pad from Mama. But can you tell I just couldn't wait? The white is working out really well. This is turning out so pretty. Okay, this is my favorite one. You could do this in all the different colors. So I think down here, I'll do liquid glue down on the bottom part of it. The same with this one. And then the top part, the flowers, I'm going to put on dimensionals. And I don't think that whatever you do is right. Don't worry if you don't do it exactly like this. So, oh, I had to get dimensionals on them. I'm too excited. I really like how this one came out. Okay, so here's my two, and I'm going to put this one on the bottom because that one I die cut it a little bit crooked. So I'll put it right about here, stick that liquid glue, and then this one right about there. That's pretty. And I want to use some of that ribbon. This is Fine Art ribbon. How do you open your ribbon things? Do you find the little sticky, clear plastic seam? This is so soft. You know what? Double bow. It's calling for a double bow. And if you're making this project, I'll do your double bows for you. It might be too big. Well, this whole project, all this gilding is a little, gilding the lily, it's a little overkill. So, a double bow is called for, right? And if you don't know how to do a double bow, my very first or second video is showing how to do a double bow. You have to scroll way down, but it's worth it because I do all different fibers. I go really slow, like 5 different times I do it. Okay, there it is. Really pretty ribbon. Look at that. I'm going to make them a little short. You know what? That's nice because it kind of covers up. It's a little bit of a gap right here. Okay, glue dots. And I might put a couple, I'm going to put 3 on, 1 on the knot, and then 1 over here and 1 over there, just because there's so much texture and so many layers on this card going on. I don't want to lose the bow. Hey, there's a whole bunch more. What's going on? Okay, then I'll trim these up so you could see the words. Okay, maybe most of the words. That's good. The ribbon is so pretty, I don't want to cut it off. Look at that. What do you think? Yeah, fun stuff. Okay, so what for the inside? I haven't done anything on any of these others. You are lovely. Oh, you know what I could do is, where's those words? I just wanted to say, should I put that on the inside? You know what, this is really dainty. I think I'm going to skip that. I was about to put that on the inside. I just wanted to say, what, maybe happy birthday or something? Okay, you are lovely. I'm thinking of you. I like that. I wonder if I could do some gilding on the inside. I want to gild everything. I'm thinking of you, and I'm going to do that in navy. Oop, that's crooked. Very nice. Okay, so what else should I put on the inside? I'm thinking some of these flowers. I don't know that I really want the big one, because that's pretty big. It's bigger than this. This is shown at 85%, so it's this big. I think maybe this one, but I don't know about gilding on that one. Unless I just gild the whole thing. Do I dare? Yeah! It's mine! Okay, so stem. Right here. Okay, and then the little flower. Let's see if I have that on a block. And that's going to be in terracotta tile. Oh no, I'm going to gild it. I'm going to gild the whole thing. Well, no, I could gild the second layer. Whew, get out of control here. Okay, here is, oh, but, see, I'm losing my mind. I wonder if these work together. Oh, I think they might. Okay. Terracotta. That's very pretty. Now for Whisper White. and the detail that I think is more intended to go with these. But today, it's going to go with this one right here. Wonder if I could do a few. No. Kind of looks like that's like a little separate part of the flower. Look how nice and white that is. I'm glad that I just re-inked that. That's the key. When I used Versamark earlier, well, I guess it was last week, the end of last week, I didn't have enough ink on it. It wasn't inked up enough, and it wasn't holding the powder like that. And so my gold Gilding Flakes, it didn't turn out as good as this. Doesn't take much. I think I have enough in here to gild this flower. Big pieces are nice, but eventually you'll get down to using just the little pieces. And this little container of gilding, at first when I got it I thought, I've been ripped off, there's not enough in there. But then I opened it and it was bursting at the seams. And I haven't filled up my container yet. Look how pretty is that? Okay, y'all have to get you some gilding powder. Okay, I'm going to hold this up. You're going to be so impressed. I'm impressed. Look at that. That is just so pretty. That's so elegant. Ooh, it's a little sticky right there. Yeah, not bad. The Gilding Flakes. Look at this. Okay, open it up slowly. So that's still half of the container that I haven't even got into. There, that little bit fell out on purpose. Look at that. Okay, so this is going to go inside. So this card, I'd like to say, oh, it's just sweet, it's simple, but it's so pretty. I think I'm just having more fun with the gilding, because looking at this, is that a snooze to you? But it's easy. You can make a whole bunch of them. There's lots of words in there. Oh, here's more gilding. I have no more stickum. Oh, look how nice that looked all put together with that layer around the outside edge. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think about gilding? Gold gilding? Do you love it? That's it. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to all that subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you can, give me a thumbs up. I watch for those so I know what interests you. And I hope you have a great weekend. Until next time, bye. Happy stamping.